Hello guys, this is Hazy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reviewing the Umbrella Academy, but instead of reviewing the series, there's a card for that to review up there. Today I'm reviewing the comic book slash graphic novel that it is based off. First things first, this is not some form of erotica, this is the actual comic book. So one of the biggest things that I really love about this comic is the fact that it has this really cool idea and these really cool designs and this really cool plot and story and premise, and that really does drive the entire thing for me. The way that somebody has had to come up with all of the designs for the characters. Luther, for example. How would you come up with the idea of Luther? Actually, somebody once told me it was like based on like his bandmates or something. But it's got really cool artwork, and every page is just full of something interesting to look at. When you get like an event in the comic book, like an explosion or something like that, they look so cool. There are so many cool designs and cool explosions and everything that each page just looks really, really cool. Do you think I've said cool enough times? Something that the series really lacked was the young characters, because I think that a lot of the stuff that the characters are motivated by, and what really drives them is their pasts, and we see like 2 or 3 scenes of it. In the comic book we get multiple cool villains of German robots, guy that eats things with like a tin on his head, robots, like little droid things, and there's just like a couple more sort of set pieces, I suppose, throughout the story that are really interesting to read, and they're completely different from the show. Even though they're a bit odd, I think that with the premise of how this comic book goes, it is sort of working and it fits in really well. The reason that I wanted to read this book was because I wanted to see the events of the show play out in my hands, and I really wasn't disappointed by that. The show does follow many plot points that do happen during the course of the book. They are misplaced, almost like, things that happen at the end happen at the beginning, that kind of stuff, but that's not much of a big deal. Like, I really love reading it and going, oh, I've seen that before, or oh, that's cool, because I see how that works now. When the writers were looking at that and they went, we need to try and incorporate this into here, and that kind of stuff I just found really interesting. And how someone would convert a book to a screen. Of course, the book has its occasional problems. Things that I found were, it expects you to generally care about these characters from the offset, and if you don't care about these characters from the offset, you'll get lost. You need to really understand, like go out your way to understand, so Kraken, Diego, and learn that kind of lingo, I suppose, of how things work. Even if I didn't watch the show, I really think I would be mostly lost for at least the first part. I think that maybe for some people this would be too odd. It's definitely not a regular superhero comic. It is beyond weird. But even though it's weird, it does kind of work, and I still enjoyed reading it cover to cover. Like, I read this really quite quickly, especially for me, because I'm not a quick reader. Me reading, 200, maybe 100 pages takes quite a long time, and I'm not the best, of taking in information. I seem to have taken in a lot from the Umbrella Academy. I do intend to get the next one, which is called Dallas, and then I intend to get the one, after that. I think it's like Hotel Oblivion when that comes out. In August. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's quite weird reviewing a comic book because it's quite hard to understand what the writer was thinking at this point, and trying to understand whether I've missed something or that's a genuine criticism, and whether a criticism is valid when I've watched the series already. But I think that went quite well. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like. And I shall see you soon. Goodbye.